Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me again on this video in this series where we're talking about some of the new capabilities in Office 365 ATP in last few months. Today we're going to talk about one of the most popular capability in Office 365 ATP is called Camping View, which basically allows you to detect email-based threat campings coming your way to your users, to your organizations. Detecting email-based threat campings are not always easy because it is not necessary that all the emails have the same subject lines, or they may have come from the same IP address, or even from the same domains. Sometimes the emails are absolutely unique. They are coming from various IP addresses. They're coming from various domains. However, there are certain commonalities. Maybe the URLs on those emails are exactly the same, and they are phishing emails. They are phishing URLs. The content or the body of the emails are the same. The emails might be coming from various different senders, different in infrastructures. However, they have commonalities in terms of they all have the same subject line and so on. So it is difficult to detect campings if you don't have an overview of what a total mail flow looks like and if there what are different commonalities that the email shares. And that's why the camping view in Office 365 allows you to detect those campings and then dig deeper to see where the emails are coming from. If it was a camping, how many users were impacted with that, and were there any leakage? If the email was sent to, let's say, 500 users, there may be possibility that first couple of users actually got those emails delivered to their inbox. If that really has happened and the users don't even know about it, you might want to know before they actually maybe take action on those emails by clicking on the URLs or maybe opening the attachments. So let's look at how the camping view really helps here. So I'm again on Office 365 security and compliance portal here, and if you see on the left hand side, I have this view called camping. Now, before I get any further, let me talk about Office 365 ATP Camping View is only available to a customer with Office ATP Plan 2 or Office 365 E5 licenses. So yes, let's get to the camping. So when you click on the camping view, it basically simply curates the same Threat Explorer to look for emails which share commonalities, and then curate the result with a view which basically gives you a visibility what are different types of campings are coming your way. You can actually select for a malware based camping or a fish camping or basically everything. So here all the red bars that I have here, they're all fish campings, and all the yellow bars that we have here are all malware campings. So if I take up some of the campings here is that and this is basically putting it on a timeline that I'm getting a lot of campings by the hour, and in some days they are higher, some days they are lower, but on an average I'm getting a lot of campings on a daily basis, and that's perfectly normal for an organization with a big brand and so on. All right, so it's basically showing me that this is one of the phishing camping, where it was targeted to almost 11.9% of my users in my organization. It has gone to 1455 recipients, and it also has a type and a subtype. Like for example, the type is a fish. You can see fish campings or malware campings. You can also see subtypes like we try to determine what type of camping is it in terms of if this is a brand impersonation or something like that. So here's it's trying to impersonate brand of Microsoft, something like that. And then there's a emails coming from DHL, I mean, which is also getting detected as fish. Maybe the emails coming in the name of DHL and luring the users to click on the URLs and so on. And then it also gives you some additional visibility, like if there are any emails which actually has gone to the user. So there are emails which has got delivered even though they are malicious. It may be very much possible that the first few instances or first few emails which has arrived at that time, the threat intelligence has not caught up and it may have got delivered to the user. However, there's a great capability in Office 365 ATP which is called ZAP or Zero Auto Purge, which allows them to basically take those emails back, and those emails can be removed from the mailbox if the email verdict has changed after the delivery. But if there's something like that actually has happened, and if there was a leakage, and if you see that if you want to know if some of those emails actually have delivered to few of your users, you can get those visibility right here itself. You can also get to know if those emails contains, let's say, a fish URL, and if there are any users who actually have clicked on those URLs or not, then you get their counts right there as well. And then what is the click rate, and were they actually able to visit the actual website or the actual web page where the URL was actually pointing them to. So this is a great information or a great visibility for the security operation or analyst in our organizations to see various threat campaigns coming their way, and then what exactly happened with those campaign, what was the impact like. Then you can actually go in the email and see various things in here. Like for example, if I click on this campaign here, it basically gives me an this whole new window, which basically gives me some more information about this particular campaign. Like for example, where it has come from. First of all, of course, by the time from the timeline perspective, it peaked somewhere here. It started off, let's say, 43 emails, that it actually gone into 361 emails right here. Then there was a low period here where there's no emails. It has come maybe because of the middle of the night or after working hours, and then it all started again 8 a.m. in the morning. So you actually get to see the trend of how the emails were delivered in batches to your organization. And then, when it was actually started and when the camping was ended, because probably we have not seen any other emails coming after that. If the camping is still going on, then you can actually see that, maybe this is changing, by the minute or by the hour. Then you also get to see the mail flow. While it has all coming from a particular domain, but it has actually come from multiple infrastructure. So there are multiple IP addresses involved here. So it has these emails have not come from a single IP addresses, and that's why it makes it more interesting. Which means that attackers are trying to evade detection, and by sending similar emails from multiple IP addresses to the organizations. And then the verdict. What was the verdict? Were they detected or not? And if they were detected, what happened to them? We quarantined it or put it to junk mailbox folder and so on. And if there were any leakage, if let's say out of 1433 emails or 1455 emails targeted recipients that we have seen, if there were a couple of individuals who actually have these emails got delivered to them in their inbox, then you actually get to see that here itself, that there are users. I don't have some, I'm sorry, I don't have an example where those emails actually have got delivered to the user, but probably in your organization, you might see that some of the emails actually got delivered to the users as well. And then you get to see information about the user click, the sender IP addresses, and how many emails came from each of these IP addresses and so on. Who was the sender? There was only one domain. If there was any attachment, what the attachment was, what was a SHA 256 hash of that particular attachment, what was the malware family detected, and what was the count. And if there are URLs, what those URLs were. And you can see that there's so many URLs on this particular thread camp, email camping. You can sort them out, and you can see, if there were any clicks and so on. So if I really want to see like what exactly happened with this URL, or what this URL is all about, I can actually click on this URL, and it takes me to a different view altogether, which is now giving me intelligence about this URL itself. If there was how many emails actually came from this particular URL. And if you see that there are other emails outside this campaign which you also have received, which exactly had the same URL, and you see that their delivery location is like inbox. Here it's all quarantine, but in some cases, if you see that those are actually inbox to the user, you can take actions for them right here itself. So you can select all the emails that shows up here, and you can say just hard delete, soft delete, move it to junk mailbox folder, move it to the deleted items, and so on. So yeah, so you can now even take actions on those emails, which actually has delivered to the users right from here itself. So, and yes, if there are emails which actually got delivered to the users, you also have an option to basically click on explore inboxed messages, which means it will basically give you a view of only those emails which actually got delivered, so that you can find out which are those individuals who have received these emails and maybe lying around in their inbox or maybe in some other folder. So you actually get to see all those emails over here. Right now I don't have any, so let me remove one filter so that I can show you how it probably would look like if you have uh, emails which actually has got into the inbox. So let's assume that some of these emails actually have got into the inbox, and then they will all show up over here. It will show you the delivery location. Sometimes the original delivery locations are inbox, and then it gets changed to junk mailbox folder because of the zero auto purge capability of Office 365, which allows the solution to even retrieve email or take the email back if the verdict of the particular email has changed after the delivery. And if it has not, and if you have be able to detect that before that happened, then you can actually take the actions on those emails from right here itself. So I can select all the emails from here, and I can say soft delete, hard delete, and so on. So yeah, so you can now see the campaigns that are coming your way. Who are your top targeted users, where they're coming from, what are the different campaigns coming to your organization on a daily basis or maybe on an hourly basis by using this campaign view. So if you are an Office 365 ATP Plan 2 customer or an E5 customer, yeah, just look at your campaign view and see what kind of campaigns are coming your way, and dive deep into this and find out who your attackers are and how they are basically impacting your users, in these situations. And for those who don't have Office ATP Plan 2, I mean, you can actually try it out. You can turn on the Office ATP trial and see how what kind of visibility it gives you against the threats coming to your organization. So I hope you liked it. We'll also look at some other capability which has come in Office ATP in last few months in a different video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of the day. Bye bye.